Welcome to See Mom Learn, a podcast for the perpetually curious, created by me, a lifelong learner, a home educator, and a talent development professional. I believe in homeschool for all. Where I live, I can get vegan cupcakes and bottomless fries in the same plaza. Surely we can figure out how to tailor education to our own household. Should everybody homeschool? Nope. But everyone that desires to homeschool should have access to the resources, to the encouragement to make the journey possible. We've had some incredible pioneers go before us, and they laid the foundation for the freedoms we have in homeschool. We believe in liberty and justice for all, and that extends to homeschooling. Even though when the founding fathers said we the people, they didn't mean me, and honestly, they didn't mean you. We've evolved into a country that truly values freedoms and rights. Not that we've arrived in this matter, but who's really arrived if they're self-aware? And we're certainly on our way there. So, working or full-time home educator, secular or faith-based, partnered or single, making bank or making pocket lint, I want you to know you can do it. It is possible, but it's not always easy. In fact, most of the time, it's not easy. However, the better and more intentional we are about homeschooling, the better our own lives can be, and the lives of this next generation. Yep, the Ryan's Toy Review generation will be running the world sooner than you think. But there are many, many excuses about why families can't homeschool. And most of the time, they're put out by the folks that know the least. So let's talk about a few. What would happen if the uptick in homeschooling continued? Would you be betraying your community by abandoning your school? Absolutely not. If we continue to lower the population of public charter, and in some cases even private schools, so that teachers could actually do their jobs, so that children can have smaller class sizes, then the entire community benefits from one homeschool family. Let that sink in. Bigger isn't always better in the classroom. Honestly, if every American kid was to homeschool, maybe we'd change this ridiculous practice of tying property tax to funding for school. Because homeschool isn't confined to the home. Like Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. But that's a story for another podcast. Homeschooling's only for the rich, you say? Wrong. I'll show you homeschooling for little to no cost. Homeschooling is only for families that have one parent that stays at home. This could be a huge help, but guess what? Wrong on this one too. I'll show you what working homeschoolers have shown me and what I had to learn along the way. But I can't homeschool because, insert your excuse here. The likelihood that there is no family that has ever homeschooled that can't relate to your biggest challenge, it's rare. Remember, humankind has been homeschooling for a lot longer than we placed our faith in brick and mortar systems. But people will think I'm weird. Have you been paying attention the last 2 years? Who did families go to when virtual schools popped up on the scene? They went to homeschooling families. When 7 hours in front of the screen for a 5-year-old proved to be too much, where did parents and teachers go? Well, in many times, they tapped the shoulders of veteran homeschooling moms. But what about socialization? This one is a personal favorite. Animals are socialized. Children are raised. In fact, until very recently in history, children were expected to be socialized in their family units, not by 30 of their peers. The concept that peers will raise other peers 5+ hours a day is pretty new. Homeschooling is only for moms that were teachers. Wrong, and I love me some teachers. Teaching a love of learning is a totally different endeavor than being a certified teacher. I am not qualified to be a Michelin star chef, but I am the most qualified to cook in my own kitchen for my own family. Well, maybe. On Thanksgiving, my kitchen is serving up Blippi on the screen and Mama's mac and cheese in the bowl. And they're not asking for 5 cheese truffle mac in my kitchen. A few years back, at least 10, Martha Stewart came for Rachel Ray and her culinary skills. And Rachel Ray's response, I love this. I'd rather eat her cooking than mine too. No shade and super funny. Rachel was out here making practical, healthy 30-minute meals with folks who lived in fear of the frying pan. And Martha was out here bringing a little Le Cordon Bleu to my mango yellow galley kitchen. Do we really have a problem with them both existing in the world? Hey, maybe little Bobby won't graduate with his PhD at 10 years old just because you homeschooled. Maybe your little Misty Copeland won't actually be the lead dancer in a professional ballet company. But maybe they will. Maybe your snarky, hyper little boy, maybe your girl with the overactive imagination and mouth will learn to love learning. Maybe they will excel in ways that our brick and mortar school systems don't actually value or they can't value while they're being pressured to teach to the test. Maybe you're raising a blacksmith, a furniture maker, an artisan or an artist, a philosopher, an innovator, an advocate of social change. Maybe you're raising a global citizen. Maybe you're raising an international connector. Maybe your child will usher in the next generation of gamers. And even if you're 100% screen-free, maybe you're raising the next generation of YouTubers. This is my approach to homeschooling. You can spend private school tuition on homeschooling, or you can homeschool for next to nothing. It really all depends on what your family decides. Maybe you homeschool as nomads, or maybe your homeschool days vary from 1 hour to 6 hours, depending on the day. Mamas, please don't homeschool your kids for 6 hours. Either way, I'm here to cheer you on. See Mom Learn is here to help you homeschool better.